What's up, everyone? V here, and we're back with more Black Panther reviews, and we're back with the miserable lighting. So yeah, this is go check out my previous review, by the way, which was the Civil War Black Panther. Pretty dope figure, and yeah. Before we get started, like I said in the previous one, it was supposed to be the review is supposed to build up to the release of Wakanda Forever, but I failed at that. So I've seen Wakanda Forever, phenomenal movie. In fact, if No Way Home didn't exist, it'd be the best movie in Phase 4. But I'll talk about it if I get to reviewing more Wakanda Forever figures. This is about T'Challa, the Black Panther, because today we're going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends, I believe, Okoye Build-A-Figure Wave. The Black Panther Okoye Build-A-Figure Wave Black Panther. You heard that correctly. Okoye, I believe, was the Build-A-Figure. I'm pretty sure this T'Challa's bigger than her, but yeah. So this is the first version of the many releases of this figure. Let's just jump right into it. This figure's been released so many times. This is the original 2018 release here. Look at that. Nice. Then they released it again in 2019, I believe, with the second wave. The wave that was the second one for him. And they actually did a lot more updating. They gave him like the purple highlighting, a new head, and Baku was the Build-A-Figure. So yeah, changed him up a bit. But then they released him a third time in like in this Endgame wave. It's just this figure, but the new head. And then, believe it or not, they re-released it again this year in the Legacy line. So this T'Challa, which I'll get into, is not the best figure, has been released 4 times. Yeah, it did not. It only needed to be released twice. The full black version and then the purple version. Also, it goes to show how well his articulation is. At least I got him standing in like a kind of Black Panther looking pose. I really like that pose. I think it came out really good. Yeah, he's got great articulation, but at a cost. Yeah, we'll get into the problems of this figure. I feel like if you've been around, you know that this figure isn't. I think people have problems with this figure. I'm pretty sure. It's been a minute since I've watched videos about it, but let's get into his accessories. First off, the Build-A-Figure head. Let's just zoom in. Okay, maybe we zoomed in a bit too far. But yeah, it's just Okoye. Now, granted, it's a great likeness, I might add. Like, the likeness is phenomenal. I think it looks exactly like the actress. One of the first, like, 3D's heck heads that I really picked up on and was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm pretty sure they beat it because I think there's been like a couple more Okoyes. I mean, if there's freaking 4 of this guy, there's gonna be 1 Okoye. So yeah, don't know why she's the Build-A-Figure, as the T'Challa head that comes with this T'Challa is bigger than her head, not hers head. But let's get into the unmasked head. No. We'll save that for last. He comes with 2 fisted hands, more than I can say for the Civil War one. I lost the other fist. I've had this figure since 2018, and I keep the accessories in a bag. So, it's a little Ziploc bag, but like the zipper, I think, broke. It's been through so many bags, and I've had this figure since 2018. I got it when it came out. So of course there's going to be some accessories missing, but it's got a lot of nice sculpt detail. Looks pretty cool. Didn't paint any of the claws, but you're never going to have T'Challa with fists. You're going to keep him with the claws. I mean, come on. It's like having thwipping hands for a Spidey and then never using them. Like, come on. You're going to use them. But let's get to the T'Challa head. Now, I need you all to picture what T'Challa looks like, what Chadwick Boseman looks like. Does this look anything like him? I can't get it. I got this figure in hand. I looked at this head and I was like, what the hell? The same thing. This the same pack, the same figure that gave us this really great head gave us this. One of the worst likenesses I've ever seen. Number one. Just ignoring the fact that the haircut I don't even think is really accurate. He's just got this weird point in the middle. The beard looks nice. His eyes are to the side for some reason, but he's not even the same skin tone. He's like way lighter than T'Challa actually is. And when you bring in the previous one that doesn't even have the photo tech, this looks miles better. This looks, if you give it a beard, because I think he had a beard in the movie, but they forgot it, I guess. Maybe they didn't know, because, early concept art and stuff. But, like, look at this. You can, even without the tech, 3D tech, you can tell. That is T'Challa. This don't look nothing like T'Challa. Me and my cousins joked around calling him Drake, because it looks more like Drake than T'Challa. Also, fun fact about this head, I didn't care about it at all, and I used the other head. I was going to show what that other head looks like on this figure, because you can put it on. And yeah, it looks miles better. But, I lost this head under a fridge for, like, months. And I honestly didn't care, because it's not good. Also, it looks super, like, pin-headed, like, it doesn't even look like it was right for this figure. Thank God that they've actually fixed the head sculpt problem on that figure. At least. I've contemplated picking up the purple variant, but I'm alright with the other T'Challa head, and I don't necessarily want to buy another version of this figure. So, yeah, what's the problem with the figure? If it isn't really overtly obvious... Oh, let me grab something real quick. I'm going to compare it to it a lot. But if it isn't overtly obvious, he's kind of disproportionate. Like, he's got this kind of wide torso, and then these goofy-looking arms. Like, move the arm out a bit, like, it just looks weird. I feel like the shoulders are too slumped down. The biceps are shaped weird. It's just not that great. Also, I feel like the waist joint's way too high, kind of makes him look like he's wearing a diaper. And a lot of people said from, like, how the butterfly joint works, it kind of looks like he's got, like, a bra on. But, yeah, those are a lot of complaints I have with this figure, but I could live past it, but my biggest complaint with this figure when I first got out the packaging was that he's, like, practically smooth for the entire figure. Now, the other figure... It was kind of smooth, but hear that? Had a very distinct texture. This one, it just sounds like you're, like, on smooth plastic, and for the most part, it looks like smooth plastic. And that annoys me, because his suit has texture. It's very defined texture on the suit. And to bring in the 12-inch one, you can very well see that texture. Like, you can hear it, you can see... I don't know if you can see it, but, like, just look at it. Like, you can see the texture throughout the suit. And that's just completely missing on this figure. And they did it a lot in this era. For, like, a lot of Spider-Man figures, they just didn't give them texture. And it really annoyed me, because the suits have texture. They're not just completely smooth. And I loved the cool texture looks, because it makes it... I love when they add, like, cool textures to figures, and when they don't have that, it kind of sucks. Because then it's not necessarily even accurate, because he's got all that nice texture detail on the actual suit, and the figure just doesn't have any of that. That being said, also, the second reason why I'm not the biggest fan of this figure is because I'm not the biggest fan of this suit. As a Black Panther design, it's alright. I mean, I feel like it was a little too CGI-y in most scenes. Like, I felt like they could have done more to the body to make it look less like CGI. But I mean, I like the mask. It's definitely got a panther look to it. But I was just never a fan of this suit. Like, it's alright. Like, I'd say it's kind of like the Civil War Iron Man suit. Like, it's a cool suit. but it's not your favorite. Like, there's way more cool, different, and unique suits than that, but it's an alright one. That's what I think about this. But when it's replacing this suit, which I think is perfection for a Black Panther design, it's annoying. But yeah, rant aside, getting into this kitty cat's face, I do really like the fact that this does look exactly like a panther. I mean, the silver this time around is so much better. Focus. I mean, he does still have a lot of nice texture in there. The eyes are painted really nicely. I think it's got like a pearlescent white to it. And just look at those cat ears. I love how that's sculpted. You know, and again, they got the necklace looking a lot better. And I mean, this guy's accurate to the movie design. There's like no hard inaccuracies. It's just like proportions and the texture that really do it in for me. If they made a new version of this figure that was like completely new, I think that'd be awesome. And why don't they? They already milk these Black Panther figures to hell and back. Just make a new one. It'll probably sell even better. Or if they could just shrink this guy down to 6-inch scale and drop it, I'd buy that in a heartbeat because this is one of my all-time favorite figures. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, and then go into the body, and it keeps that nice, like, Wakandan design with, like, all the lines with the little textures or symbols. I don't know. It's too small to tell throughout. It just looks great. Kind of like arc reactor type thing looking right there. And come to the back. He's got, oh, T'Challa got a bit more cake back there today. You know, but like I hate that it's smooth, you know, it kind of takes away from the vibe. Got the arms. Nice silver picked out there. Love that they painted little silver in there. And come down to the hands, got the claws out. And got these weird silver things. Then come down to the legs. Again, not much, just same as like the rest of the body. And then get the silver down here. And I do like that they touched up all the silver throughout. But they didn't do the toes. They did these little details, but not the toes, which is weird. But yeah, I mean, he still looks pretty good. I mean, you probably own this figure, to be honest. If you collect Marvel Legends and like Black Panther, you've probably owned this figure, or at least seen it dozens of times. But like I said, like at least the purple gives it a more unique look, and it does look really cool. But I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I probably won't. I'd buy a purple version of this guy in a heartbeat, though. But that's just because I love that figure so much. It's everything that this figure should have been, because it fixes the proportional issues, the textures. I'm trying not to talk about that much, because I'm definitely going to do a review about it. But yeah, articulation-wise, he's got nice articulation. Look up that far, or down that far. A rotation, a little bit of bob. Arm moves out, still kind of not the greatest, but then again, what figure doesn't go this far? I don't know. Rotates. This also has a butterfly joint, which goes that far forward, that far back, so you can kind of get like him falling back like that, but then his chest looks a little weird. This is also my first figure I've ever owned with like a butterfly joint, so that's cool. Bicep rotation, double jointed elbow, hinge rotation, ab crunch, that far forward, really far back, and the details do go up through it. Clicky waist. Legs kick, I think, better than the other one forward, and do kick really well back, even with the little bit of cake back there, I guess, because they cut it out a bit. He can do decent splits. Thigh rotate. Oh, that's not natural. Double jointed knee, hinge up and down, and a rocker. And this one's ankles are a lot more sturdy than the other ones. So yeah, I really like this. I mean, let me get track. Like his articulation is phenomenal. It's a pretty cool figure. I like it. It's got flaws. It's kind of like this guy, except I do actually really like this figure a lot more, where proportionally he's a hot mess. But I still love this figure so much, and I wish they'd make a new version of it, but I highly doubt that. Oh, he went flying. So, yeah, for comparisons, here we have, where are they? Oh, I gotta make sure I have everyone. Black Series, Black Series always a bit shorter than a Fortnite. Like, glad the foundation's still a bit taller than T'Challa. Who else? Oh yeah, Batman's blending in with the Black Panther figures because I have them all piled together, and that's why I was confused. Here he is next to the Batman, and then Shockwave, and there is a Marvel Select version which I've seen and I really want because it looks way better than this figure, at least proportion wise. From what I remember, I don't know. It could be the worst figure I ever created. I mean, I already know what that is. That's the Marvel Select Moon Knight, Jesus Christ. Side note, before we compare the Black Panthers, who thought it was a good idea to release that figure? Someone sculpted that figure and was like, this is something we should sell to people. That figure looks atrocious. And I want to buy it, number one, because I want to own every Moon Knight figure ever released. And number two, I want to buy it just to see how god-awful it is, because I've only seen images, and they look atrocious. But yeah, I compared him to Moon Knight, right? Oh wait, no I didn't. Here he is next to Moon Knight. Yeah, I discovered that figure while trying to find a Moon Knight figure to get, because they were taking too long to release the MCU version. Good news, I found the Miss Marvel and the Sharon Carter at my comic store that I go to a lot, which means that Moon Knight might be out somewhere. Praying to God. If you want to know why I didn't buy them, I'm broke. So, yeah. Okay, let's do the T'Challas. Let's do a different way. Let's do the comic ones. Here he is next to the, I think probably, was it my first Black Panther figure? I don't know. I think so. It might have been. Yeah, it was. I think, yeah. The Marvel Select comic one. Not the as bold colors, the more of a black and blue mixture, because I do know there's a strong blue with, like, black colors on it. I discovered that the other day. Here he is next to what will probably be my next review, the Walmart exclusive comic T'Challa. Pretty cool figure. Favorite use of the Bucky cap body, probably because I mean his ab crunch is loose as hell, but the cape kind of holds him together. That's my main problem with the Bucky cap body. The muscular detail looks atrocious, and every single one I own, the ab crunch has gotten loose on. And here he is next to Civil War T'Challa. I don't know why I saved that for last, as if I didn't compare them to each other multiple times in both of their videos. But, like, yeah, like, if you, like, combined these two guys and their inner workings, you could have the best T'Challa figure. Like, he's the best one, but, like, make him more accurate and have his arms go down. Give him the texture and make him more proportional, and he'd be perfect. So, like, they're both, like, on the edge of being phenomenal figures. There's just one thing heavily holding it back. But I'd recommend both of them. Of course, buy the most recent versions, because, of course, that's going to give you the best version of the figure, I believe. It's going to have the best paint apps, the most accessories, at least in his case. And his, because that unmasked head's atrocious. Jesus Christ. There's some questionable head sculpts I have, but I don't think I've ever seen a head sculpt that bad. I do want to know what the new head sculpt's like, but if I have $20 to buy a Marvel Legends, I'm not gonna slide it to a figure that I already own. That's basically the Oh, I got him in the pose again. Like, you can't deny that. Despite how bad it is, he does pose really well. I mean, look at that. That's a cool T'Challa pose right there. But yeah, it's like, that's the reason why I never bought the new one, is like, because I got $20 to buy Marvel Legends. I'm gonna buy one that I'm either gonna buy a new figure or a new character. I'm less inclined to buy a version of a figure that wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of to begin with, figure-wise, and just buy it again because it got a little bit better paint and a new head. Oh, also, what is the bicep doing? He's got questionable proportions. But anyway, oh yeah, here he is next to Big Boy T'Challa. I might review him last because he's legitimately perfect. Even though it's the design that I'm not the biggest fan of, every time I look at that figure, I'm like, you know what? I think this design's really awesome. And then I look at this figure and I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't my favorite design. But yeah, I'd pick it up. Pick it up if you want. It's a dope figure. Yeah, it's got flaws that suck, but it poses great. If you want a cool posing Black Panther, pick it up. So yeah, like, comment. Oh, I never say comment. Oh, like, subscribe. I don't care if you comment. I mean, it probably does something, but I don't care. I'm just doing this for whatever. Don't ask why I'm doing it, because I don't know either. I want to do something with my life. My life's in a spiral, and I need to. This is my midlife crisis. If the middle of my life is 18, in that case, oh god. And yeah, go check out my Instagram. You can see my mental decline there more. Moon Knight XO, of course. Um, yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing over there. One day we'll get structure. Or not. Who cares? And yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna share my Black Panther movie opinions, but I guess I can save that for this review, since I kind of forgot and this video is running way too long. So yeah, hope you have a delectable day. And can he do Wakanda Forever? It's less Wakanda Forever and more he's like grabbing his tits. Wakanda Forever. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. I think you can do it though. This guy is superior. Screw it. Buy that guy. That's way better. But yeah. Hope you have a great day. Check out my previous reviews and peace out. RIP.